races around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Probably the same.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome for one final time this weekend to Vernon, BC, the home of the Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic. It is the final. Cameron de Jong from nearby Victoria facing a clubmate at Victoria, Jason Montgomery. Certainly helps to have access to this ice on a regular basis. The BC team's doing very well here this weekend. Reached the final. It's Montgomery coming in with a record of 5-0. De Jong with a record of 4-1, and by virtue of that higher record, Montgomery has last rock here in the opening end of play. We're already underway. Into second stones now. My name's Sean Joyce. Jim Nix should be along shortly. That might be him there.
I am. Are we already started, obviously?
Yeah, we're into second stones now.
That's too bad. I was just sitting here. Wasn't really doing anything. I should have checked. I never really thought. But anyway, pleased to be here.
They've gotten off to a quick start here. It can't be because they have to catch flights. We've got two Victoria teams here playing in the finals. So
Yeah, they're not going that far. So I was my initial interlude into this, Sean, would be to say that you're probably pretty familiar, or reasonably familiar with both these teams.
And you'd be wrong.
Wrong? No.
I've seen
right?
I've seen the De Jong team a few times, once this weekend, and I think earlier on already this season. But I have to admit, I don't know that I've seen any of the players on the Montgomery team before. So,
Yeah,
they're obviously playing well though, 5-0 coming into this final.
Yeah, and I'm probably about the same as you. I think I'm a little bit more familiar with the Jong team. Some of the guys that are junior that I remember not too many years ago were playing junior at a very high level. So, yeah,
I think that's where Cameron's profile picture on our site came from, because it needs to be updated. he looks like he could still be U15 on our screen.
Yeah.
And he's got the good beard going in real life. So
and he's young enough; he doesn't have to cheat on those pictures yet. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So what have we got? Montgomery Hammer here.
Yeah, Montgomery by the virtue of the higher standing,
Yeah,
the higher
okay.
seed. Yep.
Okay. Not a lot happening yet, or at least not at this point. It might have been earlier.
Looking for the roll underneath here.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, we're one good roll underneath from one team or the other, putting some big pressure on here in the opening end of play.
Yeah, good opportunity for Montgomery for sure to maybe be in a good position to get two here.
Yeah, you're right. De Jong, if he gets the roll underneath, probably the best he's looking at is a force, which
yeah.
it's a small win.
Yeah.
This is close.
Yeah, really close. Very nicely done, eh?
Yeah, I don't think you can see any of that from the Hacks.
No.
And you're trying to run the opposition stone through, so he's really got to make the double on these. Now, the bonus of it, so if he hits it on the center line side about 3/4, he could almost make the double and roll into the rings. He's not going to be throwing this quiet.
Nope.
It's close. 1, 2, and nobody swept the roll.
Nope.
It got close to the rings.
It would have been close, yeah. Yeah, sometimes everybody's guilty of standing around watching.
Well, that was the other two they really cared about. And
Yeah.
even with it not being in the rings, it's pretty close to the rings and in a dangerous spot for Montgomery to just ignore it.
Yeah, there's being aggressive, and then there's like, let's be real and just get through this end and take the hammer to the second end.
You playing for the rollout here, Jim, do you think?
I would think I would be. Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
benefit that I see.
even if you stay at the corner, we're getting late enough in the end that Jong might just go around it and try to get the
Yeah.
force.
Yeah, exactly.
Skip Stones here in the first. I just before we went on air, I was just getting ready. The commercials were already running, and I was talking to Jerry and Kelly off the air before we got on, and about how they've been quick to get started here in Vernon all weekend long, and really, the play has been very fast in the couple of games that I've done from Vernon as well. Like it's like everybody here has someplace to go after the game. They're just get
Yeah.
right at it, and we've had a bit of an early start and a very quick first end. I mean, we're still coming up on what was supposed to be game time.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll just put this one in somewhere and force them to do something for the blank here. Nice way to have draw weight. I mean, you have practice, but nice to have one like that for your first shot in the first end.
Yeah, it seems like such a little thing, but we talk about it all the time. It's yes, you have the practice before the game, but as soon as you get 8 guys going up and down the sheet, you're sweeping the rocks a little harder, you're throwing some different shots, that speed will change from practice very quickly.
Yeah. So Montgomery now just hitting stick.
Probably try to stay right there. He'll hope Jong does the same thing, and then he gets to throw a hit somewhere in the middle to throw for the blank.
Yeah, it's always where I like to be. So it's fine. Montgomery's a very big guy. Kind of towers over most of these guys.
Yeah, he's probably one of the ones out there that figures if it wasn't draw to the button, we could have a basketball tip off for the hammer. He'd be okay with that.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. 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 My 5'3" stature wouldn't cut it for that. 5'3.5", I think, really, if I'm honest. So Jong now just try to hit and stay here. That's about all he can do.
Yeah.
And he'll have no trouble with that.
Same shot here for Jason Montgomery for the blank. He's probably going to throw this a little harder by the looks of that broom.
Yep. Not many guys in the game anymore that can't throw it pretty hard, so it's tough to compete if you can't. Got to have the shot, even for skips. Most skips need to have the shot. They may not have to have the 6-second peel, but they got to have something that's down there for sure.
Called the brush on right away.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go pretty hard to make this roll away, I think. Well, worked out okay. That weight was an end saver. So blank end after one, Sean.
Nothing for nobody, and we go to end number 2 with no score.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So we're back for end number 2 here in the men's final of the Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic. Pretty open first end, Sean, or at least it was after I got here.
Yeah, they had a couple of rocks in play early, but roll out. The nice double for the Jong team, opened things up, and then they were able to run it through for the blank.
Yeah, so it should be a little more interesting this end. Probably these teams don't usually wait too long to make stuff happen. So
No, well, we've got some rocks in play already, and really that's a bit of a miscue. What you could argue that both of them were the center guard thrown up first by Corey Chester. Troy Cowan comes around it, and arguably that's a little bit deep. He's more than half behind the tee line, and
Yeah.
Chester trying to freeze to it ends up in the back 8. So this is actually an opportunity for Montgomery to set things up, even though he's using a center guard. Troy Cowan again with the draw, and this one looks like it might be a little strong as well. It's certainly riding out there.
yeah, it's one of those things that you end up having to do sometimes now that you didn't used to do with the rules of play over the last number of years now, really. But you end up coming around the center more often with hammer than you used to think you had to do. So, but
Yeah.
not a good shot there.
But no, you want them high in the house when you're coming around the other team's center guard. Full 8 foot at probably at most, depending on the conditions. Sometimes you can come right around those rocks in the full 8 foot too.
Yeah, yeah.
Mentioned Corey Chester was the lead. The second here is Alex Horvath. Sterling Middleton with his brush down plays third. And Cameron DeJong, the skip, in the house. Got a nice freeze here, yeah.
Yeah, nice shot.
Wasn't critical to get the little tap, but by getting the tap, they're actually shot rock. Jason Montgomery, first thought is to just follow it down. This is the 6th stone of the end. He could peel.
Yep.
The middle's getting a little plugged up. There's a wall at the back.
Looks like he's going to take a go at it. I don't really know where it's going to go, but
he's got one. There's always got to be one left-hander on the ice to mess me up. So it's the intern for Miles Craig. Troy Cowan, we mentioned, is the lead. He's on the left sweeping. Chris Bear, the third, on the right, and Jason Montgomery, the skip in the house. This has nicer line coming in.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be right there. I don't know if he's trying to move this very far, or looks like maybe just a gentle move it a little bit behind the tee line. That's probably about as good as what he called. So,
yeah, I would argue that's probably the best he could do.
Yeah,
which is why I'm a little surprised he didn't peel the guard.
Yeah, me too.
You weren't in a lot of trouble yet, but you couldn't do much around that center either.
No. DeJong has a chance to play a little hit and flop and just make things a little more difficult than maybe they needed to be.
This is really close. Sweeping for some curl at the end. This might overcurl, though.
Yeah, maybe a touch, but pretty good.
Yeah.
I think you got to peel the guard now. I'm assuming that Montgomery will get rid of that guard. Although he's taking a long time thinking about it.
Yeah, well,
No.
it did overroll slightly. I still don't like the guard if it's me, but again, we haven't seen this team play before. If they're a solid drawing team, very confident with their draws, he knows he's always got the button available. I mean, the guard is 3 or 4 inches off the center line, so he's always going to have the button. And if he feels good about that, he might try to establish one in front of those 2 yellows and see if he can't get a deuce out of this.
Sure.
All those little hangers on at the back have the potential to come into the scoreboard as well.
Yep.
He is running the guard, though. This might be an attempt to run it back and move a few rocks here.
Yeah, possibly.
He's close.
Yeah, really close.
One. Oh, that is not the side he wanted to hit it. Well, it worked out. He picked one off the 4-foot. Loses a blue one. It didn't really roll any farther off the center line, though.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a bit surprised. I think just a straight peel there probably would have been a better option, but we'll see. If you're not going to go right after it and come right in, then you might as well just totally get rid of the guard. But hard to make that run. That's a long run back.
It was. He did clip one of them, and the yellow that's there is probably half exposed now. He actually could probably make a play on it from the, well, let's assume the next thrower is right-handed. It'll be the intern side.
Yeah. So trying to come in probably right to the full 8-foot here on this shot.
Yeah. To the corner of his own, probably, if he could.
Yeah. Might be going right past it now. No, he's okay.
Couldn't have walked that down any better.
No, very good.
Can't see that rock at all, and now all you can see of that back one is a little less than half. I mean, you could still make a play to pick it, but the one that was just delivered would still be shot. They're going to try the run back again. It's their own stone this time. Still very long.
Yeah, that is a nice part about it. It is your own, but yes, you're right. It's whatever that is. 6, 12, 14, 13, 14-foot run back. That's quite a ways.
The nice thing about these types of shots, though, it's either you're going to make contact with something in the house, or if you're far enough off the nose that you're not hitting something in the house, you should roll a bit.
Yeah.
I'd be getting them off the brush now and make sure it rolls a lot.
Yeah, he was a little late getting off of that. That looked like halfway down he really wasn't going to make contact, but it actually worked out perfect and rolled to a nice spot for him if he gets a chance to use it. But Jong, good chance here, though, to keep the pressure on. Just make a decent guard here, and he's going to have to keep running it. Or
I'm going to argue with you a bit, though, Jim. I'm not sure that corner guard did roll to a good spot, because if you've been playing this whole end on the assumption that you could make the out-turn draw if you have to, it's kind of in the way.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I agree.
That's why I say I'd have gotten off the brush and just rolled that out of play.
Yeah.
Once you knew you were over curling the run back, there was no advantage to staying in, and it's in your way a bit now.
Yeah, and especially
this might be tight.
Yeah, you don't want to be too tight here.
You're going to give him an easier chance at this run back for sure.
Yeah, could get them all here.
Yeah, well, probably if he hits the same piece he just hit, it probably does.
Yeah.
You might be able to make it straight back too, but I personally like rolling over to that corner again and driving the first yellow across the face of the back yellow a bit.
Yeah. Third stone, Chris Bear. Let it go pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that probably looked like a better release. He's close.
Yeah. Could have got a little luckier than that.
Yeah, a bit of a bad break in the way they splashed, but shot stone is open now. The one that jammed at the top is only third. Second shot belongs to Montgomery at the back of the 8.
That's going to be hard to get to there.
Yeah, and it's a little risky for Jong to just ignore second shot too. So I don't think you're throwing a straight guard.
No.
You've either got to find a way to get in. That tap he's looking at, that might be his best bet.
Well, I think that's probably easier. That outturn draw into there. I don't know that I haven't seen a lot of these sheets yet, but that looks like a very difficult draw in there.
It does. Like it might be there from what I've seen of this event, but it's not going to look nice from the hacks.
No. So it looks like they're playing a little tap on the yellow.
Yeah, I like that.
Think. Yeah.
Only needs to move it a few inches to be second. And the other thing that he can do by playing this is give himself a path to that back bluestone if he needs to make a play on it. We're getting late in the end. You make a good tap here, you probably never have to make a play on that back blue, but
yeah, but still. It's Cameron Jong with his first one here in the second.
there's not really much you can do to keep Montgomery from making a play on shot rock after this, so
no,
you better be sitting two.
Jong making sure he got it out to the broom there. This looks pretty close. Very nice looking line if he's got the weight, and as long as they get it by the guard, which they will. That's a beauty.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Got it in far enough to be shot. Didn't tap it back far enough to leave a double off the open yellow one either.
No, exactly.
He's thinking about playing a run on the blue, and this time I think he's looking to play it instead of straight back. He wants to run it on the angle to the one on the side of the 4-foot, and then have his shooter roll off a little bit.
Yeah,
might not be shot, but if he's second, third, and shot rock's open, well, then there's some pressure on.
Yeah, are you thinking like a kind of not quite straight back, but enough that the yellow goes on the yellow, or running the blue onto the yellow that's on the left of the 4-foot?
I think he's running the blue. That's what they looked at, running the blue onto the yellow at the left side of the 4-foot as we see it on the, and he tried to stick it there. And the beauty of that, if you do make it, if you stick it right there, where can Cameron Jong roll off of it? Like he can't roll into the side of his own. Even if he makes it, he's probably leaving you a double for two.
Yeah.
Because your shooter's going to be out of the way.
Yeah, trying to come up with the best way that you can at least score here. Like, I mean,
yeah,
two's still a possibility, but it's not looking great for two. So make sure you can score. It's got to curl a little
close.
more. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah.
You can see what I was talking about. Like with that blue where it is, Jong can't roll towards his yellow. He's just going to leave a double, and he can't really roll away or he's not second shot.
Yeah.
Then he just doesn't have to play the double.
Yeah. And like you say, it brings, if he rolls towards his own, then you bringing two into play again.
Two's,
no matter what, two's going to be in play.
Yeah, I don't see any way you can stop him from having a shot for two here.
Yeah. And in a nothing game, quite often, it's worth the risk, no matter if it's a little tough or not.
I don't even think you could roll into the yellow and nudge the yellow over and not leave a double. That was a great call and made it, because I don't see what Cameron can do where he's not going to leave a relatively easy double for two. Yeah. I don't think he's got a way out of this.
No. Yeah, if he rolls into his yellow and bumps it a little bit, he might make the double a little tougher. But anyway, let's see what he does. Only out-turn hit, for that much we know for sure. Well, it's not an easy double though, and not an easy double to miss your own at the back.
Yeah, exactly.
You do. I don't know. I don't see where he can. Maybe he can hit that in more or less in the crotch and have the yellow go over top of the blue, Sean. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't look like it will to me, but
I'm thinking to get it to go over the top of the blue, he's got to hit the higher one first, ever so
Yep.
slightly, and then kind of glance across the other one so he drags it across the blue.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to worry about, I mean, that's the kind of shot, though, normally when you play that, you'd have to worry about spinning all the way out. But I think he spins up into that other yellow and he should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and as long as it misses the back blue, you're at least gonna score.
The easiest way to make the double is actually to hit the one that's full four first and then come into the side of the other one. But if you hit the one that's full four first, you could very easily dead stick it on that back blue and it would still be a steal of one.
Yeah.
Jong did about
or steal it too. If you dead sticks for that one, hitting the one on the closer to the button first. Anyway, see how he goes here. So I have to believe he's trying to hit the higher one just a little bit first.
I would think
That's what I would
so.
think. Yeah, me too.
And then hope he glances the other one enough to drag it across.
Yep.
I should call this ahead of time just in case it happens so that everybody knows I saw it. You could do this, hit the yellow on the left, glance over the top of the other one, spin up into the one at the top, and if that yellow makes contact with the blue at the back, it could jam on the very back one. He could get his two that way by moving all of the yellows. This is going to overcurl.
Well,
he made it.
Perfect. Beauty.
Wow. Thicker on the first than I thought he needed to be, but great shot.
Yeah, me too. I thought it had to hit a thinner or he would jam it, but it didn't happen. So a very nice shot by Jason Montgomery to score 2 here in the second end. And we'll take a short break and be back for end number 3.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
So back for end number 3 with Jason Montgomery having a 2-0 lead over Cameron Jong, both teams out of Victoria. And just tell us how that happened, Sean. That was a great shot by Montgomery.
Yeah, really. And it was his first one that set it up because it looked like he was probably getting forced, made a great angle raise on his first one to put Cameron in a spot where he was going to have a hard time not leaving a double for 2. to Cameron's credit, he made his hit and roll as good as he could. Like, that was as tough a double as you could leave him.
Yeah.
And Jason Montgomery made a great shot. I thought he might have been a little thick on the first one, but it did, as we said, it came across the second one. By slicing across the second line like that, it did have enough to drag it past the blue one at the top or at the back, and his shooter spun into that yellow at the top.
Yeah.
It was a great shot.
Yeah, I agree, because it did look like Jong had found a way somehow to avoid the two-ender, and we didn't really see that he would have a chance. And then when it all settled and started looking at it a little closer, thought maybe it's possible, but still looked awfully hard. But great shot. So Jong now will leave those blue ones in play and try to set up the draw around the corner, which he's done. Single corner guard. Second stone Miles Craig now for Montgomery, just trying to play the draw down to the yellow. If he's got the legs, he's got a good looking shot. Got to get there. That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it bounced off just a little bit. There might be enough room to get it by the yellow. He's going to give it a go.
Yeah. It's hard to make a lot work behind just one corner guard with this early in the end. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So Alex Horvath now looking to just slightly overcurl that blue rock a little bit. Move it back. Very delicate little shot, but
yeah, he'd like to get across the face enough to roll his shooter under the guard as well.
yeah,
Just may not get by.
No. Maybe a touch light. Good news, I guess, is his yellow still guarded. But there's a lot of blue ones in there. This is one of these ends where you have a lot of your rocks in the house and you almost wish you didn't have quite so many in the house. Trying to figure out where to avoid any kind of doubles and rolls and all that kind of stuff gets to be difficult. So Miles Craig with his second here. Sean mentioned the left-hander. We only have one today, though. I did a game yesterday where we had 3 left-handers in the front end. So,
oh, that'll really mess you up.
Yeah. This one needs to curl a little bit to get to where he wanted to be, but just trying to go across the face of that a little bit. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, they made the shot. I'm not sure what they were hoping to accomplish there.
No, I don't know that either. I just know he kind of made what they called, I think. The only thing good is they've kind of found a way to block the yellows that are not in the house yet from getting in there very good. So
yeah, true.
Jong now will try to make a double here. Got to clean it up a little bit. He's still got a lot of rocks to work with.
Yeah.
It's got to curl a little bit. And he will. Good shot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Montgomery will probably have to make a play on that yellow, and he can't roll towards the corners. He can maybe stay in front of the shot rock.
Yeah.
stay in front of the shot rock, you leave it double back. If you roll past it, which is what they're talking about now, you're sitting fourth. I'm not sure how that helps you either.
No.
I don't understand the call on the last one, to be honest, the coming in and tapping like that.
No. So it's now turn hit for Chris Bayer. Bayer or Bayer, not quite sure.
I've been going with Bear. I'm just going to assume he's in line for the aspirin fortune.
Yeah. Yeah. The bad news for him is he doesn't spell it right.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's okay. One of the ladies in the women's final, her last name was the same, Bayer. So I think it was, it had to be the final. It's the only game I did from here. So a chance to go through the hole, maybe, and sit 2 behind that corner.
Yeah. You could go after the shot rock, too, and roll behind the other blue.
Sure could, yeah. This is very difficult. Be Sterling Middleton. Not a big hole, but big enough. On it hard. Got to get a sneak it by. If he can sneak by, he will not take his own out.
Yeah, that certainly changes the complexion of the end.
It does. The only problem for Montgomery here is that yellow rock at the top is just in a place that at some point, Jong's probably going to be forced to use it, and you can't really do too much about it, I don't think. So where do you go here? Short? Just tight guard?
I think you have to guard shot rock. I mean, you could be tight guard, but you got to guard shot rock. You can't come in again and leave them another chance. You got all your rocks are clustered.
Yeah.
You don't want to give him a chance to play a double and be behind cover. You got nothing to gain by coming in, which is what he's talking about now, because then he's just going to hit and roll off shot rock to be behind the yellow one for shot.
Yeah.
You can't give him the direct path at that stone on the corner of the button.
So looking to set her right on the C right now, anyway. Make the little out turn a little tough and keep your rock available, probably, just in case he decides to play the in off on the one in the 8 foot.
Yeah, he probably could do that. It's flat. If he can see enough of the inside of it, I think.
This one's got enough at least. It certainly seems sweepers are not too much of a hurry, but I think a little bit going to over curl.
Yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah, really not good at all.
Yeah, that's a very tight guard in the back of the 8 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And Jong now seeing an opportunity to play some offense. You aren't likely to get out of this with a blank.
No.
He's got a rock he can freeze to behind a yellow one. He won't be shot rock, but I think he'll be second if he's right down to it. Looks like it would be.
Yeah, I think so. So
this does take
Go ahead.
Sorry, Jim. This does take a little bit of guts because you have to trust that Jason Montgomery's not going to just switch gears and actually throw the guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're ignoring shot stone with a bite of the button.
Yeah, and it's tough because if you make this perfect, then you might force him to do that.
He could throw the guard on shot rock and say, "Okay, let's see how you get out of this."
Figure it out. Yeah. This one's got to move still quite a bit.
Yeah, it's coming. Line's going to be good. Not sure he's all the way back there.
I was going to say he's got enough weight. Yeah, he's going to be close. It's hard to tell with a little stopping and starting going on there. So not bad. Didn't quite get back there, but
yeah. But if you freeze on top of it now, you still might leave a double off the shot stone.
Yeah. He's not afraid of leaving them around, Montgomery.
No. Well, he can't really do much with the Yellowstone right now other than freeze to it. He
No.
could still throw the guard. He probably should have on the last one.
Well, yeah, I thought that's what they were trying to do on the last one, but I don't know if they were or not. But
Yeah, I'm not positive. Like the line that it ended up on, because they did talk about coming in on the last shot as well.
Yeah.
I think we're a little early in the game to just pile them in the house and let the other team take their one whenever they want it. You have a chance for here to perhaps set up a steal. Like I don't have a problem with that if you're three up in the fifth or something like that. Yeah, any guard is just something Cameron's going to try to use, but he's got, De Jong's got to be careful not to give up a steal too at this point in the game.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's pretty early. You don't want to take one, but one's not so bad at this point. Much better than giving up one.
Boy, that's really good. He stayed on the inside enough that any attempt at the double is going back onto the yellow.
Yeah. What about if you come off the outside one?
That's what he's going to have to do. Yeah. Just be patient. Make a good double here. You'd be sitting second and third. And shot stone's exposed. You might even be shot, actually.
You could be first and third.
You might be first and third, yeah.
Yeah. You're probably going to be fairly wide open, but
yeah, you think so? I think it's going to be mostly buried. I guess it depends how thin he is on the first one. I see what you mean. You're thinking it's going to spin up, which it might. It would have to be awfully thin on the first one to stick right there.
I think that's the only way that he can get to where he wants to get to, though, is coming off of that one. If he follows any of that stuff down, I guess you could come down and tap the one that's at the back of the button a little bit and flop. So you sit to number 3.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that looks like maybe the way he's going.
And it's the same shot they just played, so I've got an idea how to get there.
That's right.
These ends are always interesting to watch. We're probably going to end up with about 4 or 5 rocks sitting in the 4-foot when we're done, and somebody will score one.
Yeah, for sure.
Not critical to be shot rock here, but he does want to be second and third. Second and third buried would be ideal. And then what does Jason Montgomery do?
Yeah.
You can't, at this point, you can't really guard for your life. You'd force him to play that slash in that would be for 3.
Yeah.
And where would you be able to bring another one in that you wouldn't leave a double off the shot stone?
Yeah, it's going to all depend on where this one comes to rest. So
yeah, exactly.
See you in a minute. Line looks pretty good. He's trying to get to the back one.
Yeah, if he's got the weight to move it far enough. He wants to move it out of the 4-foot.
Yeah. Might not be quite.
Not quite enough.
No.
Hard to tell who's shot rock right now.
Yeah. My guess is blue, but I'm not completely sure either.
Could you ever freeze the pocket? Just nudging the blue an inch to make sure it's shot rock? Even if you freeze the pocket, how does he ever score more than one?
Well, I know, and I think you might be right that's probably the best thing to do. If you're a real brave soul, you could come off your blue one and make blue yellow, but I don't think you'd make enough contact or the one that you're blue that's biting the button to cause you any trouble. But still,
I see what you mean.
Be just a little too aggressive, I think, because if something ever went wrong, then he's got a simple double for 3. So I think this makes more sense.
I think if you could ever freeze that pocket, and if you have to nudge the blue, and again, I'm not sure who shot.
No.
But if you needed to move it an inch, just freeze right to the pocket. I don't know how Cameron scores because he can't blast. He loses the yellow. He can't blast. He could give up 2. He'd probably have to come off that blue with quiet weight and try to nudge the yellow into the button. That's all he'd have.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough shot.
That would be a tough shot.
Be pretty to see, but it's a tough shot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you have to throw enough just to move it a little bit without moving it, 18 inches kind of thing. So,
Yeah. With that ice, I'd say that's probably what he's playing.
yeah, I think it is. Like you say, I don't know if he needs to move his blue one or not. He might be.
I don't either.
But if he does, then it's the same shot. It's just a matter of just getting a little tiny tap. Jeez, looks like a lot of weight coming out, but I think that's just the look. Both sweepers on the same side. Don't see that too often, but they're going hard.
Yeah, they're trying to hold line here. He doesn't want to tap the yellow for sure.
No, well, I think
he's
that's what's going to happen. Unless he hits
tapping the
top
yellow.
one.
He's going to dramatically overcurl. Fortunate that it stopped where it did, because otherwise it would have been a double for 3.
Yeah, that's had a good game so far, but that was not a very good shot. Had to be had to at least be in the right line there. So if you make it a lot tougher. Jong though might have to do something more than just hit this one. Like if he hits it on 3/4 or 7/8 full on the center line side, he probably gets us 2, as long as he doesn't roll too far. Yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky, I think, Sean.
Yeah, he'd be hard pressed to roll too far. I think he's rolling into it. He'd have to touch his own yellow and then spin up. He might even get it with the nose. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if he'd be far enough into the 4-foot to beat that one at the back.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. I think you know what, he'd be awfully close, and he might not have to roll more than an inch anyway if he did. So kind of an opportunity that we didn't see coming.
If he can roll the split center, he's good for sure.
Yeah. Cameron Jong with a hit here for 2 to tie things up here after 3 ends. Needs to hit nose on this one, or just as we look at it on the long view, just slightly to the left.
He's a long ways out there.
He does have to come a ton. I don't think he's going to get. He might get to the nose, though, and we'll find out.
Touched it on the way by. That actually might have helped him, because I think he's got the other one beat.
So we know one for sure. Now they're going to have a look at these 2. Good sweeping by the sweeper there to carve that over, because I didn't really think it had much chance of getting to the nose at all. They got the rocks at the back, but I don't think either one of them are in play. So
nope.
You can kick those off. Just hanging on here just long enough to see if we can figure out what the final result is. They may measure. Looks like measure will be. Well, that was interesting.
I'm putting my money on yellow, but it is close.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I actually think yellow too. We'll hang on long enough to see this.
Sneaking a peek back to the overhead before he threw, and I think it's a good thing he rubbed that blue at the back on the way by, because I don't think he would have had it beat.
Yeah. Oh yes, okay, I know what you mean now. Yeah. So big measure, though, here in the third end. Big difference between 2-2 and 2-1 without. So we don't really see the dials here. It's not quite that good. And they're kicking the yellow off, which would normally indicate blue, but sometimes not in club curling, where you're just kind of like kicking them away. But we might have to wait till we come back from the break to find out the final results of the measure. We'll be back after the break.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Anyway, so we do have a tie game here. After all that, the measure went the way of the Yellowstones, and we are tied at 2, playing the fourth end. Sean, I didn't really see that 2 coming that end, but yeah.
No, well, there was a cluster around the rings, and again, back to I still question the decision of Montgomery to come into the house earlier in the end when they had a chance to guard shot rock. You could have forced Jong to play more defensive shots, and now it doesn't help that they came deep, and it gave Jong a chance to play for offense, realizing that he wasn't going to be able to get a blank anyway. But you had a chance to force him into all defensive shots where he was still likely going to end up with a force because there were too many blues in the rings.
Yeah. So come around here from Montgomery. And turn draw around. A lot of rocks there to work with, and too early to do anything about them. So Montgomery's going to come right in, which is not a surprise anyways, since he goes right in all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think they were looking to go in on the first one. I don't think they played that center guard of their own on purpose. It just came up a little short.
Yeah. Working hard to get this one by. He's close. He can sneak it by, and he will. Now, how far will it go? Not very far.
He's short again.
Yeah. Not terribly helpful.
No.
The outturn coming around. Pretty good setup, actually, for Team Jong now, if they can win the chase to the middle here. There's a lot of rocks out there to move to be able to get to whoever gets into the 4-foot first.
Yeah.
Got to go hard here. They're really close to the guard, and they will not get by, and that's late, too.
Yeah, he might have been okay.
Close,
yeah, he'd have bit the 8-foot anyway. It's interesting because that was the 5th stone of the end. He could clean up the guards now, but he's also got a chance to hit and roll underneath a little bit.
Yeah.
It'd be one of those ones where if you're trying to roll under, you might only try to roll half under and just kind of choke the guards off, but also sit shot rock.
Yeah.
His blue on the other side of the center line is splittable. Not that you'd play that yet, but he's looking at the peel on the yellow-blue guard. They're close together. That's not a bad call either. You can leave the long one by itself isn't much good, and that blue one that's tight actually is splittable later.
Yeah.
If you hit this just right, the yellow coming off the blue might actually clip that stone out of the top 12 too. You'd have to hit the first yellow probably 3/4.
Yeah.
He's going to be thinner than that.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not going to be 3/4. Got to hit it first, and he will.
It was coming off at the right angle. It just didn't hit enough of the first one to bring it through with some speed.
Yeah. So Jong going to have second stone Alex Horvath come through the port on an outturn. Just watching at this point.
There it goes.
Mine looks pretty good, yeah. Ooh. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that's a great shot. You really have to be patient on those watching that. You could see that when it was a good view from the camera. It runs, but when it starts to break, you can see it go, right? And it's way out there. We're still on those yellow guards, and then Took the hard turn.
So it looks like Miles Craig is going to be asked to clean it up a little bit, I think. Trying to get all of them almost here.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's there to be made. The scary thing about this is if you don't make contact with the one that's biting the forefoot, it's still behind 2 guards.
Yeah.
I thought they might look at splitting the blue guard in.
Might make contact just by itself. Ooh.
Yeah.
They actually could have bailed on the getting to the further along and kind of hammered that to hold it a little bit straighter. Would have picked that one off the forefoot. But those are easier to talk about after than they are at the time.
Yeah, especially at a rock with that kind of weight. There's not a lot of time to switch gears.
Yeah.
The hack waders and things like that, you have more time to go to plan B.
Yeah. Yeah. If you figure it's about 7.5, 8 seconds, and the first 3 of them are just while he's letting it go. So you haven't got a lot of time. You're right. It's like those guys trying to hit fastballs. I haven't figured yet how they do it. So the amount of time they have to swing. So
neither of the Yankees.
No. It's perfect.
If there's any Yankees fans, we're probably pretty safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose too many, that's for sure. So Jong third. Sterling Middleton.
Looking to come right down on top. Line looks pretty close to the same.
That's pretty good. I think Montgomery's in some trouble here. Going after the top one, try to run it back, maybe run it back into the blue, probably.
I would imagine that's the first, that's the plan A, right?
Yeah.
If you're a little full on this, you could actually run it on the angle towards the one in the 12 foot, because there's an argument to getting rid of that one too. It's kind of in your way if you had to draw.
Yeah. This one's curling a little too much, I think, for any of it.
It's a nice awareness there by, I think it was Troy Cowan on the brush to get that corner guard over as far as he could.
Yeah.
Certainly simplifies the calls here. Jong will guard. Have to think Cowan's going to keep, or pardon me, Montgomery's going to keep playing the runs. He needs to try to open that up. And if you could ever make the double run, I mean, there's that blue to the yellows in the house. There's not a lot of distance. If you hit it just right, you could stuff the double, stay buried yourself. This could suddenly flip into a possible 2.
Yeah, for sure. This one's not going to guard real well, I don't think. Did he get there? Yeah, he got there, I guess.
A little bit of angle, and I don't mind the little bit of angle, because if he does ever make the yellow onto the blue and then stuff it, he's going to have to go across the face a bit.
Yeah.
And that means that blue's going to be open. Jong can hit it, and he's still looking at a force because he's got the biter in the 12 foot. That's actually one of those ones where you almost don't want to guard it dead perfect, because if they ever make it exactly perfect, now you're giving up 2.
Yeah.
He's still got to play a double run, so it's still not easy.
From the Montgomery side, they probably have, even if that does open things up a little bit, it's still going to be a much better scenario than you have right now. But they're going to change the call, maybe. I don't know. There it is.
Ooh.
Okay. I didn't know we were frozen up on the other side.
That would have been a nice bonus to at least pick that one off the top of the 12 foot, because it's kind of in the way of the draw to the button. Like there's probably a path there. You could draw to the side of the button with the out turn.
The out
like
turn, yeah.
Come right across the center line into, but it's not a huge port. You saw the way the 2 draws that the Jong team made. You saw the way they were curling coming into the house.
Yeah.
It's tough to get by that one in the 12 foot and get by those 2 in the 8. You can do it, but it's you're going to be close to both of them, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. So John going short with this. Try to protecting ace to run back.
Yeah.
Supposed to get
Montgomery might have a choice. Montgomery might have a choice to make here.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's going to throw the guard. Then Montgomery, do you try the double run again, or do you play the very thin double, because that Yellowstone in the 12-foot is taking away any shot? Well, it's taken away your best shot for one.
Yeah.
So you could play the very thin double and possibly make the triple, but as long as you get that one out of the way, you should have a way to get in with your last one. Right now, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't think you play the run this next time unless they come far too deep and give you a really, really good shot at making the more than just the guard. So yeah, looking at your call shot, I think that makes some sense.
Yeah, even if you don't make contact with the second one, you're going to give yourself some room. He can't take everything away with one. There's too much real estate there to guard all the draw paths.
Yeah. And to be honest,
You
this
could
shot,
make it.
yeah, exactly. This shot is as difficult as it might be, and you wouldn't make it a lot, but you could actually make this shot probably and get rid of all the yellows, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. You're coming
Yeah.
in enough at the top end of the first yellow that it's probably clipping the one that's biting the 4-foot.
Yeah, just need to hit probably, I'm thinking quarter of a rock maybe.
Yeah, probably at most.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to whip it either, because he's throwing the intern into it, so he'll gear off a little bit, and you're hitting the first one so thin that you're going to carry most of your weight through to the second one.
Yeah.
It's all about hitting it right.
Jason Montgomery with his first stone here in the fourth end. Big shot.
It's going to be close. They're sweeping for curl.
You'll get enough. Well, didn't quite get what he wanted, but pretty good effort.
Still better than it was.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jong come right around again.
I think so. I think he's guarding. It's a question of where. Like the U in Hyundai kind of looks like that takes away as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm leaning to the guard as well, but I won't be shocked if they decide to just come in, because they came in so many times that they might decide, well, if we're going to be here, we'll put a little bit extra pressure on you. Straight guards. Yeah.
He is coming in. I don't like this call.
No. I won't like it if he bounces off it.
It won't even matter. Like, essentially, as far as what comes down to his last shot right now, you're not making Jordan's shot any harder. You're not cutting down the rings any further. You're not taking away anything that he hasn't seen. If he completely gasses it, I guess you get 2, but that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Could happen. It's just not very realistic.
Cameron DeJong, final rock here in the fourth end. Sorry. Definitely don't want to be wide open and heavy. Starting to move now.
Yeah, but it's not slowing down. This is one where you might want to take it back so he can't follow it.
Yeah. Well, that was not good.
No.
Ironically, the one guy that was sweeping it's a guy that probably shouldn't have been sweeping it, and the other guy should have been sweeping. So move it back there another 6 inches so he doesn't get to just come right down to yours. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, this still has to be made.
Yep. Yeah, the nice thing for Montgomery is he's just watched the exact same shot, exact same broom that he needs, and so it's if you ever had a shot that somebody showed you a way, this is the one. but it still gains 2. Gonna have to probably go on that just by my little bit of judgment. What release looked like he hadn't thrown very much on it, but he's a big guy, so sometimes it's a little deceiving.
Well, they've got the offside guy on the inside early, and now both on the same side again. They were sweeping this from the wrong side early.
And he's going to be fine. So a very nice shot by Montgomery here to score 1 point in the 4th end. He will take a 3-2 lead to the break, and we'll be back right after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So we're back for number 5 here at the Prestige Hotel and Resorts Curling Classic. We are in Vernon, BC. You're watching on Curling Stadium Vernon. Jim Nix with Sean Joyce. And Sean, we were just talking just briefly there about some questionable calls in the last end, really, maybe on both teams, really. So seen a little bit of that this game, but
yeah, it's sometimes I think there's the tendency to forget that the other team is out there too, and they're good too. So maybe you should try to take some shots away from them, but no shortage of confidence on both teams, which is it's good, and you'd like to see that. Of course, you're both in the final, so you should be feeling pretty good about your own ability to make shots right now. I just think maybe there's been a few chances here where we could have seen, and you would see in a lot of cases, more shots taken away from the opposition, especially this early in the game.
Yeah. So lead stone Corey Chester for the Jong team. I don't know what happened to all the Blue Rocks, but they're both in the back.
Well, we know the last one was hogged.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going to wick this and end up with 2 on the rings, but
I'm going to guess with where that first one was, we probably saw the first stone just bit the top of the 12. So they made the nose hit because it wasn't in the free guard zone.
Yeah.
And then trying to make the adjustment in the second one, he actually hogged it. And now Jong sits 2.
Yep.
And this is where you kind of have to switch to full out defense now.
If you're Montgomery, yep.
Yeah.
Very early in the end, so he should have a little opportunity to escape the deuce here.
Yeah. You just got to get
Sometimes
these grouped.
Yeah, sometimes you only get one chance at it, and you got to make it that one time. But this is a good shot. Going to roll to a good spot. Kind of in a good spot.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot. It makes for a delicate shot here. You've got to pass it by your own. Now there is the opportunity to hit and roll all the way back to the other side and get them all spread out, but
yeah,
you roll out, the opportunity is lost.
Yeah. So we got Alex Horvath now. Going to be throwing an in-turn hit, trying to roll all the way over to the other side of the sheet. Well away from the yellow one, prevent doubles. So it's got to come up a little bit more. And it should be okay. Should be perfect, I think.
Yeah, they're going to get that roll to where it's a pretty flat double.
So it is. Yeah. So all Montgomery can do now is try to roll back towards the other one and try to eventually get a couple rocks close enough together to make the double here and escape this deuce.
Yeah, or
deuce. Yeah.
At least get better angle. If you roll back to the center line here, it'll roll a little deeper in the rings, and then when they roll back to the corner, it's going to be deeper still. So you could do that a couple of times, and maybe as much as there's still going to be 6 feet between them, maybe the angle could be better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's the roll. Would like to roll a little further.
Yeah, for sure. The farther you roll on that, the deeper you get. And then when this roll comes back, they'd be deeper still.
Horvath's second shot.
Does have to roll, though. If he hits this on the nose, it would leave a double.
It certainly would. And trying to hold it out there a little bit. It's a little delicate. You don't want to roll out, but you do want to roll.
I don't think he's rolling.
No, not much. That's for sure. So there you go. It's still a little flat, but it's there.
It's flat, but they're not that far apart. It's only about 3 feet. So, half a rock probably gets it.
Not 100% sure that he feels good about making the double here.
This is kind of, we get so spoiled watching teams play on television, everything like that. In a lot of cases, they have an overhead camera that they have access to on a Jumbotron or something like that. And this is one of those ones where the thrower, from the far end, he can't tell how much higher this rock is than the one at the back of the tee line.
No. So it's on its way anyways. Left hand out turn. So close to making it, but
yeah, if anything, made it ever so slightly worse though now, because
absolutely,
you're never going to get them close enough to make a double now.
No.
Now you're just trying to hold them to 2.
Sterling Middleton, third stone for Jong. And he's going to be there. He's going to try to be back right to the tee line if he can. Looks like he can. So nicely played.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made for hitting the wider one, which is what he's going to do. Still, the same thing holds true that we said a couple shots ago. If he can roll back to the center line here, because he's going to roll deeper in the house, when they roll back to the wide side, again, there'll be a lot of room between them, but there might be an angle to make the double. He's still got 2 chances left to set up a double. He'll have to make it with his last one.
Yeah.
It's not critical to roll for shot here. It's critical to get these closer together.
Chris Bayer is going to roll out, I think, and he is.
You know what? That's not the end of the world. There's no way they're going to throw this draw and get it as spread out as they already were. So, I like the be aggressive, go after the roll, and if it rolls too far, that's better than not rolling far enough. You don't really give yourself a chance if you don't roll far enough.
Yeah.
You brought your sweepers into it. You had a chance. It just curled too far. You rolled out. It's aggressive. I like that as opposed to hitting it on the nose, and then you just never get them grouped.
Yeah. Middleton now will look to be back in that same area to honor just behind the tee line. Montgomery's hoping that he maybe stays a little too high and gives him a shot at some kind of crosshouse double or hit and roll, but doesn't look like he's going to do that. Looks like he's going to be pretty much perfect weight. And we'll see when it comes to a stop. And it will be pretty darn good. Not going to be any double there. Would be interesting if you could roll this over even about where the brush is at. Kind of the brush moved now, but if you could he's hitting the other one now, but if he was to hit the one on the left on the overhead and roll over, almost tucking a little piece behind the yellow, you wouldn't be probably shot rock, but you might be enough to tempt Jong to say, well, we better get rid of it. And who knows what could happen, I guess, is what I'm saying. A lot of ifs.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs. If you're not shot on this one, I don't think you'll even convince him to hit it.
No.
And I think, you could hit either one of these. These are close, but I think because this one's a few inches deeper, you hit it first, try to roll across, because then you could get your shooter deeper still. And it still goes back to, you roll over to, say, the other side of the 4-foot at the back, you're going to have a rock's width behind the other one. And when they roll back, it'll be another rock deeper, and that gives you a chance. Got to hold the shooter, though.
Has to hold here, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Can they get it out? Can he get it out?
Doesn't really matter now.
No.
He's going to split the rings and.
Yeah. Yeah, if that had rolled about 3 feet less, it might have been a little bit interesting. If it was just barely shot in the 8-foot, might have been.
Yeah, if you stay for shot back there on the line that he was as it came across, if you stay just for shot, Cameron's got to play it, and then there's got to be enough of an angle for some kind of a double, even if there's a lot of distance between them.
Yeah.
I mean, you had an end that things didn't go your way. You don't get to be fussy about what kind of double you get. If you get a double to get out, you gotta give it a go. He made a nice shot, the double last in too. So.
Yep.
And that was a thin one. So
yeah.
He'd take any kind of double right now if you'd leave it for him.
Yeah. Cameron Jong looking to split the house once again. They've done this pretty successfully, a couple of shots in a row now, so they should be pretty good on what they need to throw for speed.
Both pressures got down pretty early.
Both guys going really hard, yeah.
This is not going to be deep.
No. It's got to be there. I guess he's...
Now you got to look at, do you leave it really, really high to make it a very thin double? Yeah, they didn't make that decision quite early enough either.
No.
I mean, there's still a lot of distance between them. It's tough, but as we just said, for Jason Montgomery, when things didn't go really well for you and you get any kind of a double, you got to be happy that you got this one shot to get out of it. Here's the other thing. If he makes the double and sticks it, he might have the force.
Yeah. Well, and like you say, like we said a few minutes ago too, that there's really no option here. I mean, there's really no other shot, so you might as well go for it, and you can go for it because it doesn't do you any good. Just hit it and roll to the center line, let him hit it and score too. So you go ahead and take an honest shot at making it. And who knows? I think I wouldn't be surprised to see me very close on this, Sean.
Yeah. It's it's another one of those ones that's about a quarter rock. It's the same kind of double he made last end, a little bit more distance between them, but
yeah. And he won't have any trouble mustering up the weight for this shot, so.
I thought that might have been a little full.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
Could be
They're on the
close.
brush.
Really close. Did he hit it a little too thick? No, great shot by Jason Montgomery. I didn't know. I thought he gave it a little bit of an outward shove there. And
That's what it looked like, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we're going to have another peek at it. Right there. It just looked like, whoa.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was back, but maybe not.
Yeah. No, couldn't have been much. That was just absolutely perfect. Perfect sweep.
Yeah, great job on the brush, too.
Yeah. Stayed, too, so. Well, Skipper can't be mad at anybody but himself on that one.
Yeah.
Needed to hit the tee line with that. Or at the very least, be at least at the tee line. He could have afforded maybe a little easier to be a little long if he had to be, but not short like that. So I don't know if he's got a double and roll out for the blank here or not.
Well, he does. I'd be surprised if he's playing it, but after coming up short on the draw on the last one, he might just be playing the nose hit.
Well, yeah.
Hard to know with that broom. It kind of looks like he's playing the hit.
Well, I think, yeah, I agree. I think he's playing a hit. I don't know if he'd ever try the double and roll out because it's just a bit risky. But one's not going to feel very good here, that's for sure.
No.
But he might not get one yet. It's got to
giving up two's going to feel worse.
Oh, that's two very, very bad shots by Cameron Jong here to give up a steal of two in the fifth end. That's just a lack of focus, I think, on his part. Probably still thinking about what got away on this first one. But Montgomery will steal two and take a commanding 5-2 lead after 5 ends of play here in the men's final at the Prestige Hotel and Resorts Curling Classic in Vernon, BC. We'll be back right after.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So back for end number 6 here in Vernon, watching on Curling Stadium. And Sean, really the fifth end was just kind of a complete giveaway by the Jong team in the last couple of shots.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit during the break. I think you were the one that brought it up, and I agree. You could actually see on Cameron Jong's face after Jason Montgomery made the double. He was a little disappointed with himself because he knew that he put that first stone in a bad spot. And I think you're right. I think he was probably still thinking about that when he got in the hack to play that last stone, because that open hit, from what I've seen of this team, not that I've seen them a ton, but I've seen them, I think 3 times already this year. That is a pretty routine shot for him. He's a good player. I think you're right. I think he just wasn't really focused on that. He was still thinking about the one that he let get away.
Yeah. Yeah. So 5-2 deficit now for Jong, playing 6. Not out of it yet.
Yeah, he's got the hammer in the even end, and he's got some rocks to work with here.
Yeah. Get your 2 here, or maybe sneak a 3 somehow, but at least get your 2 here and force 1, get 2, and steal an extra end. That's the plan. Or some variation of that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I found Jordan Montgomery at times is letting him get out of jail. Like, you have to play this rock to the center line. There is no way I'm even talking about coming to the corner. That's exactly where, if you turned around and asked Cameron, what would you like me to play? He'd say, well, draw around the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't. It's whether you play the tap. He's talking about the tap. I don't even mind a straight center guard.
Yeah, I do.
You force Jong at some point in time is going to have to deal with the rocks in the middle. And while he's dealing with the rocks in the middle, you can get rid of those corner guards.
Yeah. So with that ice, looks like he's going to maybe play just a little tap on the blue, maybe?
Yeah, I don't hate the tap.
No.
Because that was probably, I'm sure that rock was supposed to be in the rings. It's just biting.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, when you're up 3 like this, you probably would throw the first one to the top 4 foot. They throw the corner guard. You'd bring the second one to the top 8 foot. They throw the other corner guard. And now you guard 2 rocks that are 8 foot or better. Well, he doesn't have that. But if you tap this up, you can still get that.
This looks very nice.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
That's a really good shot. Yeah.
That's exactly the same situation as I just described. If you threw the first 2 into the 8 foot, 4 foot, and then you're guarding them, and then now Cameron has to deal with the middle. He can't deal with his corner guards yet until he opens up the middle a little bit, and it might take him 2 shots to clear the middle. You can deal with corner guards if you're Montgomery while he's dealing with the middle. It's a game of cat and mouse. I say it so much, but that's the way it works out a lot of times in the 6th, 7th, and 8th end when you're with this rollout.
Yeah.
But now there's no free guard zone. Now you could peel the corner guards, or because you still have 2 in the 4 foot, you could guard that. Cameron DeJong's still going to have to deal with these.
I'm thinking most teams are peeling something here. 5-2 in the 6th.
Yeah, I don't know if all of them are. I don't mind the guard here. He's got 2 rocks in the 4 foot that are frozen. I mean, that was a beautiful tap. Look at how good those 2 bluestones are. Like right now, if you're killing them, you're rolling out, or you're taking 2 shots to kill them both.
Yeah.
You guard this, you can keep him busy playing basically defensive shots in an end where he wants to play offense.
Yeah, and you do have the same thrower throwing the exact same shot, basically the exact same shot, just with a couple feet less weight. Well, probably 5-6 feet less weight, whatever. But it's basically the same shot he just threw.
Yeah. Cameron DeJong wants to be playing offensive shots right now. If you can keep him playing defensive shots, that's okay. There's time to get rid of these corner guards yet. He left that guard a little long.
Yeah, for sure.
The other side, the other part of this, though, with DeJong looking at coming down to the face of the blue and killing the back one, is what is that going to leave you?
Going through that port.
Yeah.
Seems like a difficult task compared to the other side to me, but.
Well, I don't think he can get to the blue with enough to move it the other side. The guard's a little offset.
Okay. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great shot. That is a small hole, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm okay with throwing another guard. Yeah, right down on top of your own. That's fine, too.
Yeah, I think I like that now as well.
The wide corner guard is probably no longer a factor at all. There's not going to be enough rocks left in the end to ever get to it, I wouldn't think.
No. Looking for basically a corner freeze here on the yellow.
He might like to be more than cornered. He might like to be right on the face just so they can't play that angle run in.
Yeah.
If he overcurls that, that's not bad too. It takes away the port. That takes away the same shot they just played. That's in a pretty good spot.
Jong looking at moving a lot here. He's going to try to drive the blue straight back.
Yeah, might be able to get rid of all three blues here.
Yep. Sterling Middleton.
He'd leave his own rock as a center guard, but shot rock would then be the yellow at the top of the 8-foot, should be buried.
Yeah, that would be the question, whether or not it can stay. I mean, it's not going to roll very far, but
yeah, it might pop open. That's the only thing. He's close. Oh, just by everything, and that's the worst possible result because he leaves it mostly guarded.
Yeah.
I think you're splitting center now.
I think so too, yeah. I don't think you have to move that blue one up, do you?
I think what he's worried about is there's still two yellows that he could run into that. So if you get it closer together, at least probably both blues aren't leaving. It's awful easy to leave him a triple doing this.
Gonna go have a look, maybe.
And you know what? Even if he makes one of the runs that kills all the blues, you've still got the blue at the back of the 12 that would beat out the run back stone. I think you're straight guarding here.
Yeah, I think it should be straight guard as well.
If he runs either of those yellows back into the blue and kills the two blues at the top of the house, unless it clips the one at the back 12-foot, which it might, but I think it should drag past it. Guess it depends on how you hit the top two.
Yeah, you can probably prevent the run back on anything on the right-hand side of the overhead as we look at it by just putting the guard in the right place.
If you get it tight, sure. Yeah. You could certainly take away the straighter back one, and I don't know that he'd play the wider one yet, because the wider one's kind of all or nothing. If you don't make it, you're not opening anything up either.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they've decided to move something or other, move the top one in a little bit.
If you're going to move it in,
touch it a little bit on the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you're going to try to move it in, maybe try to break that freeze. So say maybe nose on the first one so that when it comes back, it'll tap the yellow and then stay blue-yellow angled to go past the shot stone maybe.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you're playing snooker, you're breaking up the pile, but you don't want to break it up too much.
Yeah.
This could be good, though. Actually, if you can get this hole stay right there. Bang, bang. No, not quite enough weight.
I would argue didn't curl quite enough either. I think you wanted to be more straight back on that so that the blue tapped back would stay on the corner of the yellow.
Oh, yeah, I agree, yeah. I was thinking more like just moving the blue onto the red, so the blue would go back to the T line and kind of change that angle that way, which is, I think, the same thing you're saying, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's in a good spot to make any of the runs look more difficult, and now you're running a blue one into the yellow, so.
Yeah, I mean, he can get to the blue that was just thrown, blue onto yellow onto blue, and sit shot rock. The problem is he still doesn't have a real easy way to get a second one, and he's looking at one of the runs, and I think now he's looking at the wide one.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure if he's looking at trying to run it into the blue at the top 12 or trying to run it into because you could come almost straight back onto the blue in the 8-foot and then double out the one in the 4-foot.
Yeah, that would be a very, very good shot. And
running it onto the blue that was just thrown either, and then having that one come back, clip the yellow, because now when you're coming in from that angle, that Yellowstone will probably spill into the rings. If you came at it direct, I don't think your shooter would be in the rings.
No, I think you're right. Sterling Middleton's final shot here. Final shot. Very difficult run back.
Yeah, they're not throwing a lot of weight here, though. It's mostly about controlling the line if they can.
Yeah. Not going to be exactly what they wanted, but
Well, he got the biter, but he didn't clip the top yellow into the blue.
No.
And I don't think you're at the spot yet where you have to worry about coming in again. He keeps worrying about coming in, but even if they could run something into that, it's not. You're not going to sit 2 off of it. You're only going to sit 1.
Yeah, there's no real easy.
He wants to break the freeze. I
Yeah.
get that. There actually is a way to do this very well. I mean, you hit, because you can't quite see all of the yellow. So if you come down, tap what you can see, your shooter should stay angled on the yellow to go past tap the blue one back about a foot.
Yeah.
And your shooter should stay angled on the yellow where it drives it harmlessly by everything. It is a precise shot, though. You could just, I'm not seeing too much that Cameron could do if you just threw the straight guard here.
I guess if you threw the straight guard and left the run back on the rock by the H, would maybe not be so great, but other than that, there's not really a lot. So come right in. Montgomery's first here, and then number 6. They might have left it too long. Yeah.
He gets away with it because he actually got under enough that you hit the blue, it's going into the other blue. I don't know that it would ever catch the yellow. You'd have to blast it, I guess.
Yeah. If you play which yellow rock, what are you talking about? Landing the long high one on Vernon?
No, I was talking about trying to pick the blue that was just thrown because you can only see half of it. You're never getting it by the blue that's cornered on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's staying there. So
I don't think that was the blue-yellow angle that he was looking for. I think he was looking to be that much on the other side after tapping it, but it works. Because even if you could, and if you could make something to make that shot, the yellow's popping open anyway.
So 2 rocks to come for Jong, just 1 for Montgomery, but in a bit of a pickle here, trying to figure out how to score a couple and maybe how to score 1. Not a lot of easy looking draws there, that's for sure.
No.
And he's not going to take 1 unless he absolutely has to. He'll find some way to play something that might give him 2. Eventually, he's looking like going to play the straight back run here and hope everything ends up in the right place, I guess. The yellow probably, if he hits it, the yellow is probably going to be shot rock. It's just a matter of where it is. It could be just sitting wide open.
Yeah, I think
the edge of the 4-foot.
Probably got to pop open.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I got to hit it first. It's a long way to go to make contact. So he loved to make it. He didn't love his shots from the last end, so he'd like to make something good here. Probably got to go on that. Well, maybe
it's in
not.
The ballpark.
Yeah, curl a little bit more. Bang, bang. Very nicely done.
Clip that one at the back. That might help because.
Yeah.
Well.
Problem is, it's pretty much wide open.
Yeah, no, he left the angles aren't great for him at the top.
No. Good effort by Cameron. It just kind of it was. I don't know if anybody really knew where everything was going to end up there. I think it was like, well, let's go to get it going in the right direction and see if it'll end up better for us. And it didn't really become too good, although. They're just talking about where they want to go. I think the little raised short takeout on that is the first shot. Pretty simple.
They're playing the blue onto the yellow. Even if you just nose it and roll out, how does he get at the other blue?
Yeah.
Like it's half buried. Yeah, a little unfortunate there for Cameron. He made a really good shot that they didn't get a good spread out of the rocks in the rings.
Yeah.
The angle on those top 2, like even if Jason doesn't throw right now, it's hard to score 2.
Yeah. Yeah, really hard. I think it's going to be harder in a minute.
Yeah, it could be hard to score at all.
Yeah,
You hit this right on the nose.
Yeah.
Have the blue scoot in behind those other two, and your shooter stays right there. How do you get in?
I don't know, but here it comes. Jason Montgomery's out-turn hit. A little bit of a raised takeout that I guess has to curl, but it looks to me like it has to curl more.
That's quiet. It'll come up
Yeah.
at the end. It might have rolled too far. No, it's good. That's
Yeah,
a great.
it's real-
It spun
yeah.
back a little at the end.
Yeah, really good shot.
There's a really skinny draw port.
Yeah, that might be all there is, though. I think, Sean. I guess, in theory, you could maybe chip your yellow into the 4 foot, but that's pretty darn hard, and
Yeah, it's
not
not
very
any-
much to draw to. Can you do anything with that one? I can't. It's hard to get to that. You can't get to it, I don't think, in the right place. You have to get to the inside of the yellow to be able to drive the yellow on the blue for.
If you're
double.
going to play that, you probably have to play the double run again. And coming from that side, I don't think the first yellow is in far enough to beat out the one at the other side of the center line. We really need a telestrator for some of these when we start looking at all these angles. But
Yeah.
To their credit, like they're going to look at all the angles here because 1 point, and it's hard to score 1 point here. 1 point doesn't do them a lot of good here. If there's any shot for 2, they have to take it, no matter how slim it is. I'm not seeing anything, and I don't think they are either. So he's playing the draw.
Yeah, and that's tough enough.
Yeah, this is not an easy draw. There's a good look at it from the hack end. That's what he's going to be looking at. He has to get between that yellow guard and the blue that's just biting the top of the 8 foot. Now it will finish. It's there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's one of those ones where it's there. You have to trust that it's there. Sometimes that's easier for the skip because he's watched the line come down on all of them. But it doesn't look good to your eye from the hacks. It doesn't look like there's a hole there. You really have to believe that it's going to finish, and we're going to find out. This is curling too early. He's got to get by the rocks in the rings yet too. And I'm not sure he's by the long one.
No, that's probably going to conclude this one, maybe.
It's a steal of another 2 anyway.
Yeah, so Montgomery going to lead no less than 7-2 here. We will just wait 2 seconds and see if they're going to continue playing. And
they're going to have a quick discussion about it, I think.
Yeah, looks like no. It looks like they're going to shake hands. And Jason Montgomery will be the winner of the 2025 Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic here in Vernon, BC. On behalf of myself and Sean Joyce, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Sean. It was a pleasure doing another game with you today. And we look forward to being back here again next year. And
it's a busy season of curling yet ahead on Curling Stadium. I think I did 5 games this weekend and 3 different events with you, Jim.
Yeah.
You can tell the curling season is underway. It's going on all across the country already.
Absolutely. So we'll say goodbye for now. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to next weekend where I'm sure we will be somewhere. So we say goodnight for now. Thanks again. See you again next time. All right. Perfect.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.